Hello and welcome to Soul in Balance, the place to get your regular solar system news. And in this video, we're going to be going over the full moon in Sagittarius. That'll be happening on the 17th of June at 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And oh my God, it has been so intense. At one end of the spectrum, we're wanting to seek higher knowledge. What is our truth? What is our purpose? And at the other end of the spectrum, we're wanting to escape and run away from our feelings, from our anxiety, what's happening in our reality. And it really is a tough time trying to balance these out. We could also be trying to move forward in our direction, but feeling blocked, feeling like we can't see what we want anymore, like the direction's not clear, or maybe we have multiple interests and things that we want and we can't quite determine which avenue to go down, which is best for the future, what is going to be successful, and what is going to be, bring purpose into our life, bring the truth into our life, and be that divine aspect moving forward. So it is a little bit of a crazy time right now. So yes, stay tuned and I'll bring you the report. Alrighty, so this full moon will be happening at 25 degrees of Sagittarius, and the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter is also in Sagittarius, amplifying the meaning of this full moon. And like all full moons, the full moon is opposite the sun in Gemini. So what we will need to do is to go to the polarity point of this full moon to see how we need to move forward, what we need to integrate into this full moon, and what we need to release. So if we have a think about it, the sun is in Gemini there with Venus, so we really are needing to get into the community, get into learning and putting things into motion, making it work, bringing about change, starting something new. So we need to release where the moon is. So the moon is there with Jupiter retrograde and also the galactic center at 27 degrees. So look, it is fairly intricate, this situation. Jupiter is all about expansion and moving forward, moving into the horizon, and at this time it's going retrograde, so it means we need to be doing that internally, finding our internal truth, expanding on that internal truth, and understanding that what is no longer our truth needs to go now. We can't be holding on to our pre-existing beliefs of what we think works for us. We need to understand that we need to be moving into the polarity point, and sometimes it can be some of the stuff that we're really overwhelmed about and anxious about. Like we get into situations where we're in our comfort zone and we believe things because it feels comfortable and because it's worked somewhere in the past. Well, we're all being called to change that past. We're all being called to, get out of our comfort zone and try something new. And Gemini is community, getting out into the community. Maybe it's where you live. Maybe you need to live in some kind of communal housing. Maybe it's work. Maybe you need to work with community, work with the people in your area, or do collaborations with people, just some kind of thing like that where multiple people are coming together for a purpose. So yeah, definitely at this time it really is a magical and radical time, especially with the galactic center. So for all those that don't know what the galactic center is, it's like the portal or the opening through to the universe. So it's where all the data and information and mystical wisdom kind of comes through. All the energy comes through this portal, and it's also kind of like a dumping zone as well, where we need to get rid of the old stuff. So definitely at this time, the stuff that needs to go, your old beliefs and things like that 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 you've been running on for too long, this is really the time just to chuck that in the garbage, because we are, this full moon is at the opening where it is, like the garbage dispenser and all this new information and new energy coming through. So yeah, go through your stuff, you know, go through your clothes, go through your mind, go through your internal beliefs and chuck it all in a bag. It's time for all that stuff to go. So yeah, it is fairly radical at this time. You know, it really is a time for transformation, but at the same time, it's very tough for some moving forward. Like, I know myself, I've got a lot of ideas, and it's just like, what do I put my energy into? What's going to work out? So yeah, we can be feeling a bit blocked because we've got so many, you know, interests or things going on, because the sun is going through Gemini and Venus is there as well, highlighting our desires, highlighting what we'd like to do, our creativity. So there's a lot of creativity going on at the moment. But then in a lot of ways we are feeling a little bit blocked and maybe even wanting to escape. I know me myself, when I want to escape, I want to go to sleep. You know, like I have a lot of Gemini in my chart, so I get very stuck in my mental patterning and I kind of burn myself out and then get very stuck in the way that I'm thinking. So I need to just check out and go to sleep. And even for me, I can't even just check out and go to sleep. That's my way to escape, is to go to sleep, and then I can wake up and be fresh again. And even I can't do that. Some people like to go out drinking. Some people like to go out and take substances. Some people, you know, like to go out and sleep with multiple people. Whatever your addiction is, whatever your escape route is, these things aren't kind of available right now. We're all kind of being forced to address what's going on, all the fear that's inside. There's a lot of fear coming up. There's a lot of shame coming up. There's a lot of even resentment at the past coming up. So, you know, the fact that we're needing to escape is quite normal, but also understand that we can't escape anymore, and especially because Neptune will be going retrograde in, I think, 3 days, 20th of June. That is also just revealing, hey, you can't be escaping anymore. You need to be seeing this truth of these situations. So yeah, it's pretty tough for everyone across the board, but realistically at this time, we just need to be facing the truth and even in a way having a bit of patience so what we want can unfold. It makes me think of like the Temperance card in tarot, is just having some patience and just letting it unfold naturally. Even though we're, you know, really wanting to move into our divine, you know, sense and what our purpose is and things like that, we're really still needing to, hey, like just give it some time to blossom on its own. We can't be forcing things, even though we would like to, even though we've got so many great ideas and all these things going on. But yeah, it really is just a crazy time on the planet. And just a quick side note on changing pre-existing beliefs. I feel like the old beliefs that we have, and especially a lot of, I've seen in my clients, that they're not letting go of their pre-existing beliefs, but at the same time, they're wanting to break free. They're wanting to move forward and be happy and start with the new. And it does really remind me of the tarot card, the Eight of Swords. And I don't know if I have it here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's somebody that is surrounded by swords and has a blindfold on and feel like they can't move. They're trapped. But realistically, they just can't see past their own beliefs. So the swords obviously represent our beliefs, our thoughts, how we communicate, and it's how we're communicating with ourselves. You know, we're still saying that we can't do something, you know, like, and I myself do it as well. It's just past conditioned fear, you know, like if, you know, people in your family or society or your friends, you know, saying to you that you can't do something, or even especially yourself. I think we're our worst enemies when it comes to that stuff, you know, like maybe we got some criticism in childhood, so then we've taken on that belief and we become that own voice in our own head saying that we can't do something when we actually can. And that is what the Eight of Swords really represents, is it's just, you just can't see it because it's, you know, you're not looking where you need to look. You need to take the blindfold off and see that there's more than just what your thoughts are and what your beliefs are, that there is so much more, and you can leave. You don't have to stay captive of your own thoughts. So I think at this time, it's really important that we really do have an understanding that there is more than just our beliefs, that we can achieve what we want and our desired outcomes in life, and we need to let go of the fear. Like, there is so much fear anyway right now with all the planets in Capricorn, with the South Node, Pluto, and Saturn. It's just bringing up a lot of fear, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. And it's things that we need to let go of. These are aspects in our lives that are so debilitating and are probably worse than depression in many ways. Like, guilt and shame and all those things are just... I can't even explain in words how debilitating they are, but they're things that we need to let go of and just stay optimistic. Listen to that voice, that small voice that is telling you that you can do it. Even if you have to, write on your mirror or write somewhere, everything is going to work out perfect. That's what I've been doing lately. I do it at work, so everyone else gets the message. Everything's going to work out perfect. And so I just think at this time, I think it's just a matter of changing our beliefs, changing what we see. So if that's something that you need to do, like, just be open that there is more information coming through right now. This full moon is going to be at the Galactic Center. We are getting way more energy and downloads coming through, visions as well. So be optimistic, and you'll find that sometimes the universe works through other people. It's channeled through what other people say. So sometimes if someone comes up to you with an idea, maybe that's a message from the universe saying that, hey, that's that information, that's that answer that you've been looking for. So yeah, definitely this time, go on YouTube or go on the internet and have a check out the meaning of the Eight of Swords in tarot. That might be really helpful for you moving forward. Okay, so this full moon is going to be exact on my South Node in Sagittarius. So I know for me personally, this full moon is bringing up a whole heap of shit. And oh my God, so overwhelming. And I know for anyone else that was also born in 1983, like myself, this is a really, really tough time, especially with this full moon on the South Node. So if you're born in 1983, your South Node will be in Sagittarius, and you'll probably have Neptune at the late degrees of Sagittarius as well, or exactly on the Galactic Center like I do. And you'll also have the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that is squaring out to this Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn right now. So if you are born in 1983, this is a really triggering time. This is a really hard time for all of us. Not like everybody is really struggling right now, so it's not just people in 1983. But I'm just wanting to highlight that because I'm 1983 myself, and I know how hard it is. And a lot of the people I'm working with right now are also born in 1983. And just understanding to own our own authority and not have someone else's authority on us all the time, to step into our own power and to realize our worth and what we can give and what we can change in this world. There's a lot of dynamics here playing out, but it's usually in relationships, because those born in 1983, the Pluto-Saturn conjunction was at the very, very end degrees of Libra. So it is really highlighting our relationships, but it will determine where in the chart, like what house it is for you, how this is going to affect you. But definitely at this time, there is just a lot going on for everyone. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out for those born in 1983. This is a very intense time. So we have the summer and winter solstice happening on the 21st of June. So it also means, again, new start. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, like Australia, it will be the winter solstice. And if you are in the northern hemisphere, it is the summer. Yeah, so it is a time of starting something new. It's cardinal, it's moving into a new direction. So yes, again, it is just highlighting this full moon where we need to be letting go of the past and our our past beliefs and moving into a new belief system as we move forward. Like, the change of the season is really, really important, and it changes the energy for everything. So we really need to, you know, taking a look at our lives, our belief systems, what we can change, and, you know, setting some intentions moving forward, because it will be happening in 3-4 days. So yes, lots going on at the moment. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly say that the view in the background is of when I was in Egypt, in Luxor. And I was in a hot air balloon, and it was in a hot air balloon going over the Valley of Kings. So that's where all the kings, after they've been mummified, have been buried. And so just being in that hot air balloon at sunset and just rising up, just definitely felt like, you know, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, expanding in that hot air balloon. And I think it really kind of correlates to, you know, this time right now, this expansion in Jupiter, and expanding from a depths, expanding from something that no longer works for us, expanding from something that's part of our past. So I think just as a bit of inspiration, I put the picture in the background, and how beautiful it is to get a higher view and, you know, go to that horizon, or, you know, travel, or, you know, go get out of your comfort zone, because it really is beautiful when you can see the whole big picture, not necessarily your just your subjective view. Like, even though subjective views are really important right now, especially emotionally, with the North Node in Cancer, and especially with Mercury there and Mars there, really digging up that we need to be being present for ourselves, and especially our inner child right now, self-partnering. You know, a lot of astrologers at the moment are talking about people whinging. I personally haven't thought that at all. I think people are just really coming into what hurts them, and, you know, what they need to talk about, or what they are feeling right now. And personally, feelings, I think, are so important. Like, our feelings motivate us to do everything. Everything stems from our feelings, our health, our drive forward, our success. Everything stems from our feelings. So yeah, definitely I'm someone that's all for those feelings coming up, and working through feelings, and addressing feelings, and finally seeing feelings for what they really are. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. But as a way we move forward, we need to move into that truth. So once we've been able to see and feel how we really feel, and honor our feelings, and self-partner and support ourselves, we need to be moving into a new truth, a truth moving forward, letting go of our old stories. And, you know, me, myself, I have so many terrible fucking stories, like from my childhood, growing up, from ex-partners. Like, if I was to get on here and talk about all the things that I've gone through, many people would not even believe me. But I know in myself, I don't want, that story isn't part of my future anymore. I don't need to connect to people through that pain, through that old stuff. I can let go of that old broken story, because I'm no longer a victim of that situation. Everything that's happened to me has made me who I am today. And it is hard, you know, letting go of that story sometimes. Sometimes some people are so, like, have their past stories so enmeshed in their future and how they get their needs met, that it's really hard for them to detach and, you know, see that's not who they really are. Like, we're a soul. Like, we're not all the pain and all the things that we experience on this planet. It's all just lessons. We all come here so we experience different sides of the coin, you know. So, and then so we evolve as a soul. So realistically, I sit there and I think about it, even with my own life. Like, I have a whole heap of retrograde planets, and I've had a lot of trauma, a lot of violence, a lot of terrible things throughout my life. And if they didn't happen, I wouldn't be as awake. I would be conditioned. I would be, you know, stuck with probably most of the masses that aren't awake, that don't want to see the truth. Like, just simply being dyslexic, I couldn't learn at school. So I had to just, do my own thing. And I didn't get conditioned with all this programming and all this. I didn't get all the teachings and that everybody else did. Like, I was kind of separate. I always felt separate. So to me, going my own way and doing my own thing isn't as daunting for maybe people that were more conditioned, that did, learn a lot at school and, did what they were told and were part of the system. Not that I'm bagging anyone that was part of the system, but I need to be grateful for my experience, even though it was really hard. Like, having to stay down and change schools and getting expelled and all these types of things because I couldn't learn, or it was just a really disrupted child from my childhood. Like, I'm just trying to say that everything has been a blessing. Everything has made me who I am. But then now I don't need to bring that story forward. I've got a new story of success, a new story of self-love, and we all can do that. We don't need to hold on to those beliefs and old programs anymore. Like, all that stuff can go. That's all stuff that can stay in the past with the old patriarchy, with the old systems, because we are all here bringing about the new system. So yeah, sorry for that little bit of a rant, but I just wanted to just show an example that, like, just let go of the past programming, let go of the past things that have happened. It's not to say that you disassociate from them, not at all. We need to be integrating and finding those parts of ourselves that have got fragmented when we had trauma. We need to be bringing those all back in together and healing ourselves and being our own parent is really the main highlighting theme of Cancer North Node. Like, it really is just saying being our own mother, nurturing ourselves, supporting ourselves. So we need to, stop relying on partners or our work or our job or our friends or our whatever it is, our money or whatever people use or their assets to make them feel supported. We need to just be letting go of that. And with Uranus in Taurus, it's really going to shape that up. Like, I'm even a little bit scared about that because Uranus will literally revolutionize your attachments and what you think makes you worthy. And it's only like at the very early degrees, like it's going to be there for 7 years. So it's going to be 7 years of, just radical things happening. So we learn to support, love, and validate ourselves and not have all these attachments and things making us feel of value. So yes, but yeah, definitely at this time, we just need to be, letting go of just the old stuff. But yeah, I thought I'd get a card for this full moon. Oh, that was quick. Okay. Oh, what do you know? Okay, so I've got 2 cards. It says, wait, don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. And this is what I said before about like just waiting and letting things unfold. I know that we've got so many creative ideas right now, and with Venus in Gemini, and that is also making aspects out to Chiron. It could be bringing up past wounding where, maybe we've had creative ideas and inspiration. We haven't gone forward with it because we've, haven't had any confidence, or we've believed we couldn't do it. So I think at this time, just know that, hey, it's not because it's not going to happen. It just needs more time to unfold, so just wait and have more time. And I need to say that to myself as well. And the second card is Waves of Prosperity. New abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. So yes, this is completely true, especially with the full moon in Sagittarius and Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of luck, and waves of prosperity that will definitely be coming from the galactic center and all the amazing energy that comes through from that galactic center. So yeah, just a super magical time in general. So yes, that is it for me for this full moon video. So yeah, like all full moons, it's a time of releasing, and we all know what we need to release right now. Like, we all know, no matter how conscious or unconscious, whatever you are, we all know what's not working and what's not. It's so obvious. And it is a time for maybe like massive revelations and, you know, things coming up that is kind of, you know, really striking events of the truth coming up at this time that can really throw, what is it? Is it a ball in the wrench? Monkey? Something, one of those things in the wrench in the system. Yeah, so it is a time that can cause, you know, a lot of disruption. You know, the things that come up, the truth that's revealed. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm like really super bored, I'll watch like videos from like the beauty community, like Jeffree Star and all these people, and there's always like some, you know, weird, you know, drama and truth coming out, and, you know, like just looking at it from an outsider perspective and how that relates to us collectively, you know, there's just a lot of truth coming up. There's a lot of frightening truth, and, you know, it's good to know that truth, but at the same time it can be really hard, like all the beliefs that we've had and all the things that we thought were right, or, you know what I mean. It's just really yeah, it's just really disrupting sometimes when we find out things. But I think we've been getting slammed with it enough over the last few months and even since last year of what the truth is. So I think we're pretty much getting used to it now. But yeah, I think there's going to be more striking events of the truth come through at this full moon, even a few days after, as we do have Neptune stationing to go retrograde, and then we also have the solstice. So yeah, a lot going on in those perspectives, but yeah, so just like all full moons, it's about releasing. If you can connect to yourself at this time, connect to your truth and really go inside. Like, I know it's hard when you just want to be happy and you want to be positive and you want to, you know, move into the future and get your ideas out there and be successful. You don't want to go into your internal stuff, you know, but then that internal stuff becomes a monkey on your back, and then it controls your life, you know, because then you're always running. So it's better to just go into your stuff and be there for yourself. I did a post on Facebook this morning, I think it was, because it's going to be pretty intense. Like, there's going to be a lot of dense stuff come up from the 13th of June to probably be around about the 25th of June, even after, because that's going to correlate with last year's Mars retrograde in Aquarius. So realistically, it's going to be, you know, pretty tough, and the best thing you can do, or we can all do, is to be there for ourselves 100%, support ourselves, be the person that's cheering us on the most, to fully support ourselves. You know, if we didn't accomplish what we wanted to, say last week or today, or, you know, things aren't going the way we want it to go, you know, you need to be there for yourself and say, hey, it's okay. You know, you spent all day in bed yesterday. You know what? You needed to, because maybe you had the flu the week before, or maybe you've had a lot of emotional stuff come up. You know, like, we really need to be 100% supporting ourselves. Like, I know for me personally, the feeling of being successful makes me feel guilty. Like, I realized this the last few days. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's got to do with, you know, like my upbringing, or, you know, what past life collective stuff I'm bringing through, but I felt like I wasn't allowed to be successful. Like, I always had to be struggling. Like, I actually felt feelings of guilt and shame that it's like I was in a place of moving forward and accomplishing things, and I don't know why, but I just felt really guilty about that. So yeah, there's just strange little things coming up, old fear stuff coming up that really needs to be addressed at this time. And oh my God, there's an amazing little red spider, you know, those little money spiders crawling across my screen. So I love it when they come along, because my grandmother told me that they're like money spiders, and seriously, every single time I've seen one lately, something really great has happened. Like, whether it's like moving forward in my career, or money coming to me, or something. So green, yeah, cool little red spider running along the screen. So, you know, I hope, if you believe in money spiders, I hope something amazing comes your way too. But yeah, so what I was saying is, yeah, we need to really be there for ourselves right now. No skipping out on ourselves, because it is such a time of synchronicity. And if we skip out on ourselves, other people are going to match that, because that's the frequency we are putting out. We can't be sitting there complaining about other people not being there for us, not helping us, blah, 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 blah. We need to check in internally. Are we skipping out on ourselves? Are we helping ourselves 100%? Because we can't be complaining about other people if we're doing it to ourselves as well. And also another thing I want to quickly highlight is to, if there are people in your life that aren't serving you, that you know aren't your friend, but you've been maybe friends with them for a long time, maybe it's your family, maybe it's a family member, no matter what it is, if there's people in your life that aren't serving you, that aren't fanning your flames and cheering you on and wanting what's best for you, those people need to go. Use them as a reflection of where you need to see if you're doing that to yourself, whether that's attributes of yourself that you do to other people, but then also know that you need to be changing your dynamics, changing your frequency. And it's things like that, people in our lives that use us or take us for granted, or don't want the best for you, they're the people that need to go. Because we need to be honoring our lives, honoring our energy, and honoring our feelings. And the best way to do that is to love ourselves and love our energy and what we're here to do. And that means having boundaries, really, really strong boundaries. And yeah, just supporting ourselves. And yeah, I'm sorry about the little bit of a rant, but I was really kind of wanting to get all that information out at the end. But yeah, good luck to everyone to this full moon in Sagittarius. It really is a lucky time, even though things feel like they're so up and down. So you have a couple of days of great energy and you're moving forward, and then the next it's just like, what the hell? How did I get back to 2018? But yeah, so that's it for me. So many soul journey blessings all, and I will see you soon.